and now we're looking forward to the next one. It creates a very clean sense of, hey, this was wonderful, and now we're moving on. If you find yourself in a place where you feel like you need to shift the conversation, but you don't want it to feel abrupt or hurtful, it can help to abstract away. So if you're talking about nitty-gritty things, you can say, what does this really mean about us? Or what does this really mean in the world? So trying to move from a sort of concrete place to more abstract and philosophical. When you're looking to close a conversation, you can also use question asking. This might be a sort of surprising way to use questions. Usually when we think about asking questions, we imagine them as opening up new pastures and diving into new directions. But you can also use them to close a conversation by signaling a sort of forward-looking view into the future. So something like, what are our next steps? Or what do you need from me going forward? Or when will I see you again? These are very clear indicators that the conversation is coming to a close, and you want to do it in a way that looks ahead to your next conversation.
We'll take care of that.
Treasury officials were confident the fallout from the collapse of Lehman would be containable. News of the impending bankruptcy had already reached London. There will be no money coming from New York for the bank.
Here's how you tackle a hard conversation you've been avoiding.
It was absolutely clear.
You have a conversation that you've been dreading. It's one that you feel like you should probably have, but you don't want to have it. It's a conversation with a colleague. You have to give hard feedback or maybe fire someone. It's with a family member that you have an issue with or a disagreement. It's with a romantic partner who you need to have a really serious conversation. It's totally normal to feel a sense of dread and avoidance about these big, hard conversations. These conversations often feel hard because they can easily unravel. And they unravel because both people walk in with their defenses up, like ready to sort of fight for their position and try to win. That is really dangerous and damaging. If you walk into a conversation like this with your mind made up, feeling certain, you've already stopped listening. Instead, you should let that go, set it completely to the side, and focus on learning as much as you can about your conversation partner's perspective. Here's how you tackle a high-stakes or pivotal conversation.
We were basically told.
Use a new framework called CALM and prepare for the conversation ahead of time. Let's start with the CALM framework. When you're tackling a hard conversation or a difficult moment in conversation, the CALM framework can help tremendously.
Very serious situation.
C stands for confirm understanding.
It was a very
A stands for admit uncertainty. L stands for learn.
going back to Lehman.
M stands for make it human.
As we approached the Lehman building,
It's so important to make sure that you and your conversation partner are on the same page and actually understanding what each other means. Here's what confirming understanding can sound like. You can say things like, I'm hearing you say this, is that right? Am I hearing you right? Am I understanding this right? You said this, did you mean this? So just checking in with each other and confirming that you're on the same page will make it feel less like an attack or like you're defending something and more like you're in it together. You can confirm understanding throughout the conversation, little moments of repair or questions or making sure that you exactly understood what they meant. Sometimes when people say things with emotion and if you feel surprised that they're expressing a certain emotion, it can really help to be like, I'm seeing that you seem a little bit upset about that, or, can you tell me more about where those tears are coming from? Really trying to understand their meaning of their words, but also their feelings and their beliefs underlying what they're saying. While we're having our conversations, it helps a lot to admit what you don't know, so admitting uncertainty. It can sound like this. I am sure that social media is bad for me, but I'm not sure what apps to get off of, and I'm not sure how to keep my attention off of the screen of my phone, right? So in the same breath, you can say something confidently and also admit what you don't know about it. Surprisingly, we think that just saying things that we know is going to be the most persuasive, but when you're on the receiving end, it's so much easier and more pleasant to hear someone admit uncertainty that ultimately those people end up being more persuasive. We're afraid that when we admit uncertainty, it's going to make us sound weak or like we don't know something, that we're powerless, that we're incompetent. Ironically, by admitting that you don't know something, it makes you seem more secure, more knowledgeable, like you have a more comprehensive understanding of the things that you know and the things that you don't know. The L in CALM stands for learn. This is so important. Our instincts when we confront tricky moments in conversation are to try and persuade the other person to agree with us, this persuasion mindset. That's not how you actually persuade people, by ramming your views down their throat. Instead, if we take a learning mindset, learning everything that they're feeling, everything that they've experienced, everything that they know, you're going to surface things that will help you understand where they're coming from. Going into a difficult conversation with a learning mindset and pushing away the instinct to be persuasive, ironically, will make you more persuasive in the end. The M in CALM stands for Make It Human. I think this is a sort of call to action for remembering that there's a human mind on the other side of every conversation. And your job is to connect during this conversation. In order to do that, you should share your humanity, your emotions, your lived experiences, your beliefs, and you should ask them for theirs. And when they do share the incredible gift of the way they're feeling or the things they've been through, we have to make sure to validate them. All feelings are welcome, not all behaviors are welcome, not all beliefs are correct, but all feelings and experiences are welcome. One of the strongest things that you can do in this Make It Human is dividing yourself into multiple parts. You could even say, like, as your friend, it makes total sense that you feel upset about this thing you just went through at work. At the same time, let's think about how you could consider doing it differently next time, right? Like, you can validate someone and also help them see it from a different angle in the same breath. In conversation, we're often torn between two goals, to be kind and to be honest. So we want to say the real thing, we want to say the hard thing, but we don't want it to seem cruel. The way to do that is validate other people's feelings and then find the courage to also get on the same side of the table as them and say the real thing. That's how you make it human. What can also help in these tough conversations is preparing ahead of time. There are many aspects of the context around the conversation that matter a lot. When you think about having a big, hard conversation, there are some things that you can control, like where it happens, when it happens, and how it feels. Because it's going to be a little bit sensitive, you don't want the conversation to happen in front of other people, because the potential for shame and embarrassment goes up exponentially when there are more people around. So you want to have the conversation in private, in a place where everyone feels comfortable and safe, and like you're not taking advantage of them. You also want to make sure you choose a moment when there's enough time to really listen to each other. If you do it in this rushed, stressful situation in passing, you're not going to give enough attention to a topic that really deserves time and attention. It is always the case that if there is something bothering you that needs to be repaired, it's better to do it sooner rather than later. Not necessarily in the moment when someone is feeling angry and emotions are hot, but waiting and waiting and waiting and chewing on your